Doctor back with another video for you guys today. Today, I'm going to be starting a new segment called the Doc's Perspective. It's going to be a good, interesting one today. What I basically be talking about on these segments is the good, the bad, and my recommendation for the car overall from a mechanic standpoint. That's very important. This is a 2012 Dodge Journey I have with me today. Now, they only made one generation of Dodge Journey dating back from 09 through 2020. Unfortunately, it won't be a 2021. They discontinued them. I find that kind of sad because I really like these little SUVs. I thought they was great little trucks or whatever you want to call them. Now, there are three different engines for this particular truck. There's the 3.5, which unfortunately died off pretty quick. They have their own set of issues. I'm not going to get into too much of that because, like I mentioned, they died off pretty quick. The 2.4 and the 3.6 Pentastar. Me personally, I like the 2.4 four-cylinder because it is a lot more easier to maintain, cheap, all that good stuff. Now the 3.6, it has its problems on its own. If you look at some of my videos, you'll see I have a lot of information on the 3.6 Pentastar, and they found in a wide variety of vehicles, from the Wranglers, the Durangos, the 300s, the chart, it goes on and on. From the Ram ProMasters even use the 3.6 Pentastar. So you can kind of see how it's found all over the place. I almost named my channel 3.6 Pentastar, by the way. So enough about that. We're gonna jump right into the cons of this vehicle, starting with the battery. Now the battery is located in the fender, right in front of the driver tire. Now, this is a good example because it's missing a fender well. It's a plastic cover, so you won't even see the battery. These batteries, if they are dead, they will cause check engine lights. And if you're trying to use a free battery service from your local parts store, they're not equipped to change out your battery for free. They'll say take it to a shop where a shop chopper charge your arm and a leg to take off the tire, remove the fender well, all that. So that's one of the cons in my opinion. And I hear a lot of complaints dealing with the battery. We're gonna jump right back into the engine bay of this vehicle and start talking about some stuff around that area. In my opinion, the main common failure points on this engine and the Pentastar is the cooling system. Now with this particular engine, let me remove this cover so we can get a better view of what's going on. So we're gonna be focusing in over here. There's a plastic thermostat housing. It's this big chunk of plastic, and I always see them break. It's just this humongous thing, and it's completely made of plastic. I don't know why they didn't make it of aluminum. I think they designed these cars to fail so people can spend money, which is a shame. They should make cars that kind of live up to their reputation, you know. They will break, crack, and people will keep driving these engines, and they don't hold up well to heat people. They will overheat, they will blow a head gasket. I get these engines in here all the time for head gasket failures. Just a common issue for them. Now, with the 3.6 Pentastars, as you can kind of tell in my videos, I'm gonna put some videos up here, they have oil cooler issues. Oil cooler will erupt and start leaking oil. Plastic stuff again. This is the radiator neck. It's made of plastic. It will give problems and erupt. And it's actually attached to the upper radiator hose. And you will have to replace the whole radiator hose to actually replace the radiator neck. Now, this radiator neck is not actually attached to the radiator. It's a remote radiator neck. Remote radiator neck. The radiator is actually located directly under this plastic piece. You have to go through a lot to get to it. The reason the four-cylinder Journey gets my vote, the transmissions hold up a lot better than the 3.6 Pentastars. The 3.6 Pentastars will chew through some transmissions. I've changed a couple of them in my shop. They're just underbuilt for that much power. It puts down a lot of power. Unfortunately, this engine don't put down much power as the 3.6. It's kind of sluggish, so it don't chew through transmissions. Let's get into some of the good things about the Dodge Journey. Now, remember, this is a mechanic's perspective on the Dodge Journey. You know, there's plenty other channels talking about leg room and comfortability and drivability wise, because hey, you can be comfortable on side of the road broke down. I'm here to tell you, you know, what you need to know about keeping your vehicle on the road, staying on the road. Now, jumping right into it, maintenance. The maintenance on this vehicle is very easy with the 4-cylinder. You know, your tune up, it's a 4-cylinder, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easy to get to the coils. If the alternator goes out, it's easier to change the alternator versus the 3.6 Pentastar. If a coil go out, these are coils. I should mention what they do. They provide the spark to the spark plug. They go out, you will be with a flashing check engine light. It just check engine light just be flashing. Now with the 3.6 Pentastars, you have 3 coils up front and 3 coils in the back. The back is covered up by intake manifold. You can't even see the coils. So it's a lot harder to get to, a lot harder to maintain. Talking about the alternator on the Pentastars, it's very tight. With this, you can easily, you have so much room to get the alternator out, or if it goes out, easier to change the valve cover if your valve cover start leaking. This is a good DIY car if you know what you're doing. 3.6 is great with, you know, if you want a peppy car, go to 3.6 route. And if you got the money to maintain it. If you want something that's good on fuel, good for first-time drivers. Remember, first-time drivers, they may get a little, like my daughter. She always talking about, what she's always talking about, babe? I just want to try it. Curiosity kills the cat.
Yeah.
We don't want that with our teenagers. We want them alive. So get them something slow. Do not go out and get your kid a powerful V6. I don't recommend doing that. So that's why I recommend this particular engine right here. That's why I like this particular engine right here. Now, would I recommend this car for family and friends? Yes. I recommend the 4-cylinder. It's a lot of you guys out there like me that want a nice little reliable SUV, something good on gas, just point A to point B, out of town wise. This would be the truck for you guys. It has a 3rd row seat, it's pretty roomy. Now a lot of YouTubers may talk about, oh, you should get a Toyota, Honda, all this. A lot of people don't have Toyota, Honda money, and a lot of people don't realize that. I put myself in you guys' shoes. You know, if I'm on a tight budget, this is something I'll be jumping into. Now, it's up to you if you want the V6 version or not. And if you got a nice little emergency fund, which, hey, I always recommend you guys have a car emergency fund with any vehicle. Yes, get the V6. Have fun. But as far as reliability-wise, longevity-wise, I like the 4-cylinder. Look, guys, all cars have their issues. If they didn't, I would be out of a job. And this is my passion. I love teaching. I love working on cars. Anything automotive, I love. Now, there are not so good owners out there and uneducated owners that just need a little help, a little pushing along, point them in the right direction. Everybody needs help. And that's what my channel is all about. I'm here to help educate you guys on all things automotive related. So, hey, if you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. I love you guys. You are my family. See you guys on the next video. Alex Scott, Dr.